Now, the bushfire emergency in Victoria has gone to an unprecedented level. A state of disaster has been declared for the first time ever. It comes as 17 people remain unaccounted for across the state, and there are fears catastrophic conditions, as we've heard, are on the way. Victorian Premier Daniel Andrews is at the Emergency Management Victoria headquarters in Melbourne and joins us this morning. Thank you, Premier, for your time.
Very good to be with you, Brett.
Do you have any updates on the 17 missing people as we speak?
I can't provide any further updates, but there remain 17 people who are unaccounted for. We have grave fears for their safety, and we also expect that that number of missing persons will in fact increase. As soon as we can provide you with further information, we will. Of course, 2 people have been confirmed as having died as part of these fires. We send our condolences to their families, but it just, I think, sends a very powerful message. If you can leave, you must leave. We can't guarantee your safety in the east and the northeast of the state. That's why the state of disaster has been declared, not just for your own safety but for the safety of fire crews and other emergency services who may be called to your aid. If you can get out of these communities, then you must. That's the only safe thing to do.
We've had states of emergency in Victoria before, but a state of disaster is new. But what does it mean?
Well, what it means is that the Minister for Emergency Services does have extraordinary powers to coordinate government to make sure all the agencies of government are solely focused on dealing with the fire threat and the consequences of bushfire. We've already seen the best part of 800,000 hectares burnt. We've got a massive fire edge and we've got another wave of hot weather. Very low humidity in the air. This is a really challenging next few days for us. It also means, I think, Brett, just in a common sense, in a sense of providing a really plain message, a simple message to people, this is the most formal step that we can take. And it is about, if you can leave, you must, and you can't be going into these communities. It's not safe for you, and it's not safe for people who may be called to provide relief and support to you. The other point too, Brett, we don't want to have any more small communities, as it were, locked in by fire, trapped and cut off, isolated from power, from telecommunications, from water and food. We have many of those already as a result of the fires we've experienced in recent weeks. We don't want to be adding to that list. We need people to use common sense and good judgment and listen to the advice that you are being given. That's really, really important.
I know you've been out to Gippsland. Let's talk about Mallacoota in particular. We are going to see scenes today that we've never seen before in Australia, as hundreds of people are taken out by naval ship for escape. Not everyone, though, Not everyone can be evacuated. We are looking at live pictures now at the jetty there as military personnel prepared to take people out. 800 to 1,000 going today, which is good news, but a lot of people are being left behind because they're not allowed on board. The elderly, children, those who aren't able-bodied. Can you do anything for them now?
So, just as we're very grateful to our firefighters and all of our emergency services at a state level, we're very grateful, Brett, for the ADF and the work that they're doing. Yesterday, because the smoke cleared, and that's our biggest barrier in terms of getting choppers into Mallacoota, some Black Hawk helicopters were able to get into the town and about 50 people were taken out of Mallacoota by air. There'll be more of that, particularly for those who are less able-bodied, if you like. Getting onto the naval vessel is not an easy process, so safety has to come first. There'll be about 1,000 people get out a bit later on today, and there'll be more people that'll be airlifted, subject to the smoke clearing, because we've got the safety of our pilots and the safety of the community. Of course, that has to come first. But you're right, it's not something we've seen before, and we didn't hesitate to reach out to the federal government. The ADF have got capability that is very much over and above what normal state agencies have, and a true partnership is what we need, and that's what you're seeing unfold in the Mallacoota community today.
Has a decision been made yet on where they're going to be dropped? Is it on the Morning Peninsula? Is it Port Welshpool?
At this stage, they will be heading to Hastings, and there will be support provided at a local level once they first arrive, and then there'll be a series of transport options to take them to other central locations around Melbourne, and indeed there may be some transport to regional Victoria as well. It's going to take some time. It is a massive logistical task, and we're very grateful for the help of ADF, but we're not underestimating this will be a long journey, but it is the result of unprecedented fire activity. We should take the opportunity just to thank the CFA and all of those who kept Mallacoota safe these people were very well protected, and now they're being well served by the Australian Defence Force.
Absolutely, they can't be thanked enough. Just finally, Scott Morrison copping flack, as we've seen earlier today, from locals for not doing enough. But from a state government perspective, have you been getting enough support from the federal government?
Yes, from my perspective, I just make the point I've been in constant contact with the Prime Minister, and the Prime Minister's provided any and all support that we've needed, and there'll be more that we will need, and I'm confident that if Victoria asks for support, we will get it. That's the most important thing.